guys, welcome to Blazing Bullets. As you can probably tell by the title of this video video is going to be about my AK, the only one I own, but also my favorite, because I've kind of messed around with a lot of gun shops, mostly Wassers, some SLR from Arsenal ones, and I don't know. The thing about Wassers that I've come to find over, my research and playing with them is that they're kind of hit or miss. I know a lot of people who have had success with them, and just about as many more who haven't. Now, you can have, slanted sights, there can be alignment issues with the trunnions, but I know a lot of people who've kind of strayed away from those and either went one of two ways. Three, actually. One, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jim Fuller, but he's putting out a more expensive, because it's a custom gun, AK variant. And then another company by the name of Century Arms. They've really stepped up their game lately. But there's also a third route, which I believe is one of the nicest production guns, the AKs that you can get, in Arsenal manufactures those. And the rifle that I have in my hands right now is the SAM7SF, and we'll go ahead and clear this because there is a loaded magazine in here. Okay, we're all good. So let's go over this gun just a little bit. You have your standard, junky, not really junky, I guess, but just standard, sights that you would normally find, irons that you normally find on an AK. You do have a really nice muzzle brake on the end. I believe this is like the AK-74 style muzzle brake. It is detachable. You guys, I don't know if you can see, there's a button right under the sight and between the flash suppressor that you can actually, let me put this on here, you can actually move this up a little bit. There we go. You can actually push down here, give it a quick turn. Don't have nails, so you have to excuse me there. Give it a quick turn, and it pops right off, which, if you guys are anything like me, that means put a can on it. Unfortunately, I don't have that kind of cash right now, so we'll just deal with the flash hider for now. Okay, so to put it back on, you give it a turn till you hear the first click. You're not done because it's still kind of wobbly on the end. You give it a second push, start turning again. Once you get that next click, boom, it's on all the way. So I'll give you guys a bit of a close-up here. You have your standard AK safety. You either love it or you hate it. Personally, I don't use it, and I'll show you why in a second. Really clean. The only thing that really bothers me about it is that AKs aren't exactly known for having a great finish. This is kind of like a painted-on finish. I believe this one is, it has a finish underneath the paint. I think it's parkerized. Yeah. But I actually, one time I was trying to get a spot off of it or something, and I had like a little pad of alcohol, and I think I was rubbing it. Where was it? It was over here somewhere on the dust cover. I was kind of wiping it, and it kind of was stripping the paint off, and I was like, oh, better not do that no more. But you got some, there's your serial number. If you were one of the first 500 people to purchase this AK, you got like, what, I think it was $100 off, and I was on it as soon as it came out. So you have your Circle 10. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Yep, Circle 10. That's Bulgarian. Basically like the stamp of quality. As far as I'm concerned, they make some of the best AK mags there are. Some other serialization here. I'm not sure if this is a batch number here or it just means, Bulgarian. And then you have your Arsenal USA logo down here. It says Las Vegas, Nevada, I believe. Yep, stamped USA. And then obviously here is the caliber and information and all that good stuff. It says Model SAM7SF Cal 762x39, made in Bulgaria. So, you're saying made in USA, made in Bulgaria, what's that all about? Well, the story behind that is kind of weird. It confused me at first. So, Arsenal of Bulgaria, this is modeled exactly, minus the full auto fun switch, to their military rifles. And they basically send these over to Arsenal USA, and Arsenal USA takes them and they make them what's called 922R compliant, because AKs in the United States, and I think a variety of other foreign firearms, they have to have a certain amount of US made parts on them to be actually considered legal. Now, as far as law enforcement who enforce that, they probably, to be honest with you, don't even know that exists. I doubt you're ever going to get stopped and a cop happens to see your AK in the back of your car and is going to say, hey buddy, is your AK 922R compliant? He's probably just going to be like, oh, okay, whatever, move on. Move along. So this has some cool features though, and one of the ones that I want to show you now is actually this button right here. And some of you guys probably know what this means already. That means I could press the button and the stock kind of collapses and catches on this notch right here. It has a little, spot for a notch here, and then it goes whoop, and just pops right on. And I like the fact that this folds to the right side. A couple reasons for that. One, you can charge the gun relatively easy, rack a new round, rack a bad round out. Or if it was on the left side, so you'd have problems, because this firearm has a rail here built into the frame to mount optics, which is really sweet because mounting optics can be a pain on AKs. That's just the way it goes. It also has this Galil style safety right here, and basically what this does is, I'll have to do this with my right hand. Basically what this does is it allows you to, if I can get this strap out the way, push it from fire to safe. And if you notice, if I flip the rifle over, it moves. I'll have to move the stock out the way too. It just moved that safety so it blocks the bolt. If I go to rack it, boom, it's hitting. And to reverse it, you use the safety on this side over here. Boom, flip it right back down. Thought that was pretty neat. It was actually one of the selling points for me. I've heard complaints of guys saying that the stock kind of, when they're holding it, like this, kind of is abrasive on their cheek. I don't know if their cheeks are, made out of glass, but I don't really have a problem with it. I've heard of people wrapping these in paracord and stuff like that. I don't really see it as being necessary. This is a milled receiver gun. I know I did not mention that. There's lots of debate about it. Some people say it makes AKs too heavy, not necessarily any more tough or reliable. Some people say that there's nothing wrong with trunnions. I'm going to be honest with you. I got it because I knew that more work went into it to create it. Because it is hammer forged, the entire receiver, and a lot of the ways that you can tell from what I've been told in my research is this indentation that the rifle has on both sides. Very rigid, very sturdy rifle. And the only problem is with this one in particular is you cannot operate it like you can the other models that are not they're not milled, don't have a milled receiver. Is you can't store a cleaning rod, and there's actually space for it. It'll fit, but it interferes with the operation, so you can't store that. But let me show you what it comes with. Came with this little oil bottle stamped with the Arsenal logo right there. I have no real use for this, to be honest with you. I keep it in the original cardboard box that it came in. It still smells like factory on the inside. I don't even know if I've ever opened that. It came with a 10-round magazine, This is one of the parts I believe that helps make this even more 922R compliant, because as you can see, it is stamped Arsenal US on there, and the caliber. I'm not really a big fan of 10-round magazines, especially in a rifle where standard capacity is 30 rounds, but if I can seat this mag right, that'd be cool. Alright, and that's still not seated right. There we go. Just need to use my right hand. So, one thing that makes 10-round mags cool, though, is, I don't know if you guys do a lot of bench resting, but when you're bench resting a rifle and you got a big, long mag like this one, you got a big, long mag like this one hanging out the bottom, right? Well, this is going to interfere right here a lot of the times with a lot of your different bench rests, because it's going to hit the table and you're not really going to be resting the firearm on the bench rest. You're going to be resting it on the table. So for seeing maybe the accuracy of your rifle, trying to test where it's hitting and whatnot, you're going to want to use the 10-round mag that this comes with, or at least if yours didn't come with one, you might want to get one. And they are quality. I never had a malfunction out of this mag. Shot it quite a bit too. But one of the things that I did do was invest in some good magazines. These are the 30-round P-mags. You can tell by that orange tab at the bottom. Kind of gives it away. People bash these, and I'm really not sure why. I have never had a malfunction with them. They seem to be rigid. One of the things that people say, though, is that the Circle 10 magazines that Bulgaria comes out with, they have steel inserts, or like steel reinforcements all around the sides and the bottom that helps make the mag more rigid. My argument to that is, how many times are you going to be taking a sledgehammer to your magazines, is basically what that boils down to. I have never had a problem with it. In fact, I've never had a problem with it with this magazine. And this was a magazine you might have noted in one of my previous Glock video, or my SR, what was it, no, 1022 takedown video. I had the painted magazines. I actually have one of them sitting over here, two of them sitting over here. We had this mag and this mag coated from a guy who runs a company by the name of Up Armored Knives, and he does an extremely great job. Even makes he's so precise that he makes sure not to paint the whole mag. He leaves the part that sticks in the mag well uncoated, unpainted, so it always looks nice. And the only thing that I had to do with this generic mag was file down this little tab right here that's supposed to slide, kind of keeps it sitting rigid. It's still a pain to get in, to be honest with you. I need to do some more filing, but I'm going to tell you what, it looks pretty sick with this thing in there. Let me see if I can get it in. There we go. Not too much trouble. Check this out. No malfunctions with this mag either, and it looks cool. It's got a bunch of skulls hanging off of it. Eventually I want to get some Bulgarian Circle 10 mags, the 40-round waffle mags, and have him coat some of those for me, because he just does some excellent work. But back to the rifle. No hiccups. I haven't dragged it by the back of our truck through the woods, smashed it off of trees, buried it in dirt for 3 years, shot it with other guns just to test the reliability. It's an AK. They're not immune to failures, but I'm willing to tell you guys on camera that I would trust this over any AR any day of the week. And I know a lot of guys say, "Oh, I've never had a manufacturer malfunction out of my AR," and you might have not have. But the inherent design of this weapon is so that it is loose, sloppy, and it spits rounds so hard out of the gun that it hits the ceiling at my range, comes back down, and just smashes the floor. And they're meant to eat up any kind of ammo that you throw through it. There's no gas adjustments, nothing. It chews up ammo, spits it out, and that's about the end of it. Plus, they're super easy to take down, and I'll demonstrate that for you. You hit the little button at the back of the dust cover. After you hit the button on the back of the dust cover, slide straight out. next, and you have your what the style recoil spring is this? This is a, what is it? Can't remember the name right now, but I think it's a AKM style. One of the really long slide AK recoil springs. Pretty hefty recoil spring on this thing. Works well. Spits out rounds no problem. This is the bolt. As you can see, the bolt is hard chromed. Get a close up of that. Hard chromed, really nice, cleans really easy. This gun, you know, came, the machining on it, guys, I can't get you close up enough. You'd have to actually get it in your hands and check it out, but the tolerances and everything for this, and the machine quality on the inside of the receiver, I'll give you guys an up-close shot of that. Let's see if I can show you. We'll flip it around to this side. This receiver here is just top notch, real clean. It almost feels like the bolt is riding on ball bearings on those rails, and it's just a pleasure to shoot. You do know that you're shooting a really powerful, you know, round when you shoot this, but it does a great job, in my opinion, of handling the recoil. You know, obviously it's not a light weapon because it is milled, and I think that aids to some of that controllability that you get with it. You know, I could, in theory, take out the gas block and everything, and show you guys up that way. There's other videos on YouTube if you want to see that. But we're not going to really get into it. I will have some range footage coming with this. We've had problems with his shotgun, and my dad, that is, his shotgun, and trying to get that situated, and I've been busy with school, so we're just trying to get you out like content that we think you guys are going to want to see first, kind of like, you know, the Glock 43, the XD Mod 2. Stuff like that. And one thing I can tell you guys is it's just so fun to shoot this at the range, because even though I feel as if I need to get a bore sight to one here, I do not believe that this came very accurate from the factory, and that's not because, that's just my opinion. I shot it on a bench rest, and it's off. So I'm going to get this bore sighted, but I do feel like once I do, the sky is the limit for accuracy. I think I'm going to hit very good. I almost forgot, you almost let me forget, my dad was so kind as to give me order another Lyman trigger pull gauge for me, and I was going to try to see if I could get some readings for you. So we'll clear it. Put it right there. Boom. Oh, I didn't hit the ready button, so we'll try that again. Clear. Ready. 3 pounds and 12.2 ounces. We'll try to get an average. So we'll clear it. I'll do a 5 average on this, or 3 average maybe. Oop. That one came out to 4 pounds, 8.8. Let's do it one more time. Okay. 4 pounds, 6.2 ounces. Alright, let's rack it again. Try it one more time. 4 pounds, 9.8 ounces. So, I don't know if this requires... Okay, that was our average. 4 pounds, 9.8 ounces. Okay. Sorry, getting used to this new Lyman trigger pull gauge. The last thing that I wanted to show you that I thought was pretty cool, I was at a local gas station here and I was kind of looking at the magazine section because I'm such a gun nut and nerd and whatever else that some anti-gunners might want to call me. And I found an AK-47 magazine. And that one actually features, what was this? This is the SAM7R. Interesting story about the SAM7R. Besides the stock, this was pretty much the same rifle as the SAM7R, but Arsenal in Las Vegas tried selling this gun for, which is pretty much the same, for about $3,000 bucks. And I kind of feel real bad to people who ended up buying one of those because there isn't really any differences. In fact, I think the flash hider on it isn't as good, and I would prefer to have this stock over that one. So, I don't know. I really don't. But on the back, that wasn't what I wanted to show you. On the back, there's actually an advertisement for this gun. Let me see if I can get you an up-close view of that. You can see, you know, SAM7SF, and there she is, the game changer. Now, funny story about Arsenal's marketing tactics. I think it was kind of interesting that they chose to use the game changer. I mean, it is a good gun. Comes with the chrome line barrel. You know, you got your right side folding stock. You have, you know, really nice tolerances. You have highly quality machine parts. It's milled and everything, forged, hammer forged. But and a nice two-stage kind of trigger feel to it. But I wouldn't exactly call it a game changer, because game changer to me means you make a design that is so effective that it almost becomes a disruptive innovation for the industry. Kind of like how just make a quick plug for, I guess, Glock. When Glock came out with the G17 Gen 1, that was kind of a disruptive innovation. Yes, they weren't the first to make a polymer pistol, but they were the first to make a polymer pistol that was extremely easy to completely detail strip. That was a disruptive innovation for the industry. Ever since then, other companies have been trying to follow suit. So, I don't think they changed too much with this. They just made a good quality AK that people can afford. But I think that about wraps it up. If there are any questions that you have about this rifle, please be sure to ask me. We will have more videos coming with it, I promise. We're trying to get a range set up at the house to just kind of get these videos rolling out like bam, bam, bam. So, yeah, like I said, any questions, feel free to ask me or my dad. We kind of both jointly go through the comments. And be on the lookout for stuff that we got coming in the future. I appreciate all of our subscribers. I know you guys are patient with us sometimes when we don't have a constant flow of videos going through, but I got to give my dad some credit. He's kind of been doing a lot of this on his own. In fact, the majority of it on his own. So kind of thank him for that, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, have fun, but always remember, keep carrying. Peace.